Jen, thanks for joining us today. We're students for Management 101, and today we are hosting an interview for our Analytics in Action project. So, could you first tell us a little about yourself and what you do at the Beal Center and how you're involved with the Styles and Adventure competition?
Sure. So my name is Jen. I'm the program manager for the Beal Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Basically, I oversee both the day-to-day operations of the center as well as anything program related for the center. And so one of the signature programs of the Beal Center as well as of the Morashua at large is the Stella Young Adventure competition.
Do you use or keep track of any data specifically for the competition and use that information to make decisions?
We have a lot of data. So we keep track of the scores for concept papers, the scores of the semifinal, as well as the information, the survey that we typically send out after the competition to both coaches and judges, as well as the student teams that have participated. And so with that, we track how well the students are doing year over year in terms of concept paper as well as the semifinal. And that tells us, okay, within these category or criteria that we have, are the students performing well? If they are not, what went wrong? Can we substitute any kind of workshops and more information for the students and make any kind of marketing materials or like study materials, competition materials in general, more clear for the students to understand the scope of what they're looking for.
That's cool that you guys keep track of that and
Yes.
like try to find solutions to help the students. Or like.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is going to be about like what kind of analytics do you keep track of or data and how you make decisions based on that, or keep track of any numbers or signals like registrations, attendance, submissions, things like that. And do these numbers actually change for you?
We do track numbers of the students that are coming to each of the workshops. We track and see and test to see or confirm the hypothesis of if a student goes to a lot of the workshops, then they perform better in the competition. We're able to confirm that hypothesis. And then also, does it matter if a student needs to start right at the kickoff stage to be able to succeed? The other part is it submission, right? Yeah, so submission, the biggest pool that we have so far is 125 concept papers. And so we try to see what kind of marketing that we did, operations-wise, in order to achieve that number. And we would try to emulate that again, but also keep in mind the fact that student changes, their habits change, their preference changes. So we also have to take a look at that and figure it out as well.
So, moving on to the next question. So now we kind of want to ask you about the tools you use in your work.
Yeah, to collect that data, whatever you rely on, and what parts do you feel like are still pretty manual that you have to do?
So mostly when it deals with student data, it's quite automatic because we get their scores through a form, aka it translates to a spreadsheet, and so I can compile those data very easily. The other side is qualitative data, which are like their feedback. The words that they're typing, you can't really put a number to that. So you have to go through that as well. That could be a little bit more manual, as well as the other side of the competition, which is dealing with coaches and judges, having them confirm their participation in the competition, because there are a lot of moving parts, and one coach or judge can serve in multiple roles in the competition as well. So we typically do that a little bit less automatic, more manual, comparing to the information and data that we get from the student.
And so we just have a couple more questions now. So moving on, we would like to ask you for your advice for students who want to go into program operations innovation or business analytics. And what are the first two tools or skills you tell them to focus on?
Okay, well, one of the things that is really big right now in my workplace as an employee is Power BI. That is an analytics tool similar to Tableau, I guess, but it's embedded into Microsoft that is getting more popular and popular, and it will be very, very good for you if you know what you're doing in Power BI, how you can implement that, as well as, I guess, utilize it as a tool as effective as possible. I say a data analyst consultant. Numbers works. Number explains trends as well as what is happening in the world, and data is so important. But also, I like to take into consideration of what the numbers are not telling you. I like to say that a person is multifaceted. If they're talented at one thing, there's also a lot of different perspectives that you can judge a person with. So number conveys one thing. You should also take a look at other perspective and other data that's outside of numbers.
Yeah, it's really cool work that you do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your answers. They
Yes,
were very
yes, yes.
thorough, and I learned so much. Thank you so much for your time today.